My mom is a music journalist, and so she was like the actual publicist for Shaka Khan and the Average White Band, like way back in the day. And in my dad's house, he played or plays flamenco guitar. So he's really, there's always like Paco de Lucia blaring or whatever, like rasqueados and those kind of things happening. And then my sister was listening to sort of the Rolling Stones and Judas Priest and Scorpions. It was that era. And so I liked whatever my sister liked because her girlfriends were cute. So I kind of went into rock and roll. So, you know, around 10, I started playing guitar. I was luckily grew up in very musical households when I was exposed to a lot of music really early on. From day one of playing guitar, I'd always had this vision of that I was gonna be in a rock band. And so it was around 18 or 19, I auditioned for this artist named Bronx Style Bob, who was putting a new band together, and he had made a record. He's a New York rapper, kind of soul singer rapper guy. He was putting a new band together, and I got that gig, and that was sort of my first gig or something like that. Other than that, I had my own bands, but he was super connected, and then that band got signed, and that was my first kind of like time getting into that world of like, oh my God, this is actually happening, you know? And that led me into doing sessions and all that kind of stuff, just meeting people, so. Basically, my whole career has just been saying yes. The game plan was don't stop. And then through always saying yes, it just fumbled into like going on tour with Alanis Morissette early on. And then that led to meeting other people and other producers and playing on these records. And playing on that record led to this artist saying, come on tour with me. And then that tour led to meeting somebody else who then, blah, blah, and then before you know it, you look back on like 10 years and you're like, wow, that's crazy. Like what happened? And all the while of doing that stuff, I've always maintain my own music or my own projects that were passion projects. Usually they've been bands, but up until now, and the last couple of years, I've been focusing on doing ambient music on the side. So I've just released a project called Morning Loops, which was, I released 4 or 5 months ago, and it's basically was a discipline and getting something done. More of that is coming, but I'm doing these 30-minute pieces of meditation music. My intention for that is people can meditate to it, or you can put it in your film, and I think it's kind of one of those like apply it to whatever you need to do it. So I'm happy about that, excited about that. And in the past, some of the projects, I've been really fortunate to work with great artists like the Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Those guys are just like an insanely talented group of incredible musicians and such good dudes. I've been a long time collaborator with playing with Damien Rice for many, many years. He's a good buddy. I love his songwriting. I love his discipline. I love his chaos. He's a very inspiring dude. I made a record with Annie Lennox once. She was one of the most prolific artists I've ever met. This studio I share with an amazing musician named Zach Ray, who is a longtime collaborator and really dear friend of mine, and an incredible musician, producer, composer in his own right. So we've merged all of our gear and basically have 3 rooms. We've got the live room up there, our control room, and there we have the machine room. Our collective sort of vision here is to we created a place that both he and I can have work on our own projects, whether we're producing something or composing or just doing sessions, you know, for hire kind of thing. And then also bring in other artists in our community who are looking for a place to be creative. Everything's ready to go, and it's an incredibly versatile studio, from our mic collection to the instrument collection to the gear that we record through the outboard gear. So, you know, we've got your Neves, we've got your APIs, we've got your Telefunkins, we've got your Chandler, we've got your Quad 8, we've got your Alltech, we've got your Teletronics. So there's a lot of stuff here. Yeah, it's fun. I've been using the Adam A7 series speakers for a very long time. You know, oftentimes now, not oftentimes, all the time now, I'm in here getting sounds. I'm not in front of my guitar amp. I'm not, you know, I don't have the sort of, things are kind of set up. So I need to really rely on the speakers to get the sounds. And then I want to be inspired while I'm tracking, because I'm more of a vibe, energy kind of dude than I am a technical guy. So I'm not looking at meters. Once things feel and sound good, I'm going. And so it's imperative that the sound is inspiring. Otherwise, you just, you know, it's like you're just playing with the earbuds or something. It just doesn't do it. So you really sort of elaborated the sound in the studio. And obviously, we have 3 sets of Adam speakers here, you know. So that's not a mistake. I don't want to get caught up in oh, what's this gonna be like later? Is it too bassy? Or I need to like pretend that the bass is there, you know, based on experience. Like, I just wanna hear it because I'm gonna react to it based on how I hear it. And if I'm writing other parts or I know that I wanna get a particular sound, if I'm guessing that the low end is gonna be, I don't wanna do that. I just wanna hear it. So the A7s are really balanced for me. And yeah, the bass response, the top end, all of it was great. I'm really fortunate that they're out there. And they're easy. You plug them in, there's no rocket science to it, no fancy cabling. It's just like, boom.